When Eric moved into the cabin deep in Blackwood Forest, he was looking for solitude. He had spent years in the city, suffocating under fluorescent lights and the weight of expectations. The cabin, nestled miles from civilization, was supposed to be an escape. For the first few nights it was. The silence was thick but peaceful, broken only by the distant howls of wolves and the rustling of leaves. The air smelled fresh, crisp with pine. Eric spent his days hiking and his nights by the fire, finally feeling at ease. Then the knocking started. The first time, he thought it was a branch hitting the roof. The second time, it was deliberate. 3 slow, rhythmic knocks against the front door. When he checked, no one was there. He locked the door, brushing it off as the wind. But the next night it happened again. 3 knocks. This time it was louder, more insistent. Eric held his breath, gripping the fire poker as he inched toward the door. He yanked it open. Nothing. But just as he was about to close it, he noticed something in the dirt. Footprints. They led from the tree line to his porch, but never away. A chill crawled down his spine. Someone had stood there, knocking, watching. He barely slept that night. The next evening, the knocking came back, this time from the back door. Eric didn't check this time. He turned off all the lights, gripping a knife as he sat in silence. Hours passed. Just as his eyelids began to droop, he heard something new. Not knocking, scraping. Something dragged along the walls of the cabin, slow and deliberate. Eric's heart pounded. He wanted to believe it was an animal, but deep down he knew better. Then came the whisper. Eric. His stomach dropped. The voice was thin, stretched, like it had been worn down over centuries. He didn't sleep that night. The next morning he packed his bags. Whatever this was, it wasn't just his imagination. He needed to leave, but as he reached for his car keys, something in the hallway mirror made his breath catch. A figure stood behind him, tall, gaunt, limbs too long, fingers twitching. Its face, or what should have been a face, was hollow. A smooth, featureless void. Eric spun around, but there was nothing there. He ran to his car, heart hammering. The engine roared to life and he sped down the dirt path, gripping the wheel so hard his knuckles turned white. But as he glanced in the rearview mirror, he saw it, sitting in the back seat, smiling. Eric never made it out of Blackwood Forest. His car was found abandoned on the roadside, the door wide open. His cabin remained untouched, except for the scratches covering the walls. And if you ever find yourself deep in those woods, listen carefully, because sometimes, in the dead of night, you might hear 3 knocks and a voice whispering your name.